The Senator from Ohio.
Thank you, Madam President. I ask you to consent to dispense with the quorum.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam President. Each year during Police Week, we honor the law enforcement officers who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to community. This year, we add the names of 4 Ohioans to the National Law Enforcement Memorial who laid down their lives this year and last year. Officer Timothy James Unwin III of the Springfield Township Police Department. Deputy Sheriff Marcus Ziegler of the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Sheriff Joshua Hamilton, the Preble County Sheriff's Office. Sadly, we know already of 2 names that will be added to the memorial next year. Jacob Durbin of the Euclid Police Department, who was senselessly ambushed and killed in the line of duty last weekend. He leaves behind a father who was part of the department, the same Euclid department. I spoke at length to the chief of police in Euclid last week. He was engaged, the young man was engaged to be married. His grandfather had also been a suburban police department in Cleveland. We also add the name next year of Lieutenant Rodney Osborne, the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility, who tragically died in an accident during a training exercise. Each of these losses is a tragedy for a family, for a community, and surely for their fellow officers. These Ohioans' lives are a reminder of the ideals we should strive for. We need officers who are true public servants in the best sense of the words, people who give themselves to the community, people like these brave men. These Ohioans gave so much. Officer Timothy James Unwin was a Cincinnati native dedicated more than 8 years to serving Ohio communities at both the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and the Springfield Township Police Department. In his free time, he enjoyed staying active, working on cars. His colleagues and friends and family members remember his smile, remember his always positive energy. He was always helping others. He wanted to make the world a better place. He lost his life in a tragic car crash while responding to call for help from fellow officers. Deputy Sheriff Marcus Ziegler began his career in the private sector, working in security and defense before joining the Hamilton County, that's the Cincinnati area in southwest Ohio, joining the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department. He was proud to serve as a deputy. While he was only on the department for 9 months, he made an impression on his colleagues and his community. He always had a smile on his face. He was always happy to lend a hand. He was eager to grow in his career. His family was the most important thing to him. Our thoughts are with his wife and his 5 children. Deputy Sheriff John Hamilton was a former U.S. Navy reservist and Army National Guard member who served on the Preble County Sheriff's team. He was known for his unwavering commitment to our country and to Preble County community. Deputy Hamilton is survived by his parents and his daughter. We extend our condolences to them and all the loved ones these public servants leave behind, children who will now grow up without parents, or without a father, or parents who grieve children. This year, we added the names of 6 officers to the memorial who died from COVID-19. Terrence Bateman, Anthony Cloyd, Mark Heinel, Billy Eyrig, Gerald Lynch, Matthew Mitchell. We can't begin to repay the debt we owe these officers and their families. We can work to protect more officers and communities, in the communities they swear an oath to serve. It's why I work with colleagues of both parties on legislation to support law enforcement as they do their jobs. If we can help them do their jobs more safely, we all win. 2 years ago, I worked with my colleague, Senator Grassley and Congressman David Joyce, my friend from Ohio, to pass legislation that provides Customs and Borders Patrol staff with fentanyl containment devices. This keeps officers safe. We know how potent even a little bit of fentanyl is, even to this touch of the skin. And this keeps officers safe. It keeps evidence preserved for trial. Now we're working to get cops and sheriff's deputies access to the same protection locally. It's why we introduced the Protecting First Responders from Secondary Exposure Act. It's also why Senator Cotton and I introduced the Providing Officers with Electronic Resources Act, the POWER Act, to help state and local law enforcement organizations secure high-tech portable screening devices to detect fentanyl. I'll keep fighting to make sure that police officers can retire with dignity. My bipartisan Social Security Fairness Act will ensure that Social Security benefits will be there when officers retire from a life of dedicated service. One of the best ways we can keep law enforcement and our community safe is by keeping fentanyl out of the country in the first place. Something I've heard from law enforcement personnel virtually every place in Ohio. 400 Ohioans every single month die from fentanyl poison. That's not just a number. It means 400 individuals with 400 individual families in 400 different neighborhoods have died. It's why we fought to pass my bipartisan Fend-Off Fentanyl Act. The president just signed it into law. It's going to help us target the entire fentanyl supply chain, from the chemical suppliers in China to the cartels that manufacture and transport the drugs in Mexico. By going after the billions of dollars that these traffickers make in illicit profits, we target them where it hurts the most, their bank accounts. It's why we worked with Ohio and national law enforcement to write this bill and to build a broad bipartisan coalition to get it passed. This Police Week, let's offer more than empty words. Let's provide the support and resources that our men and women need to keep themselves and their communities safe. Although nothing can ever be done to truly appreciate the sacrifice so many have made by laying down their lives, we honor them by supporting their fellow officers. We must get our officers the tools and the training that they need to do their jobs and to build trust with the communities where we all live, the communities that they are sworn to protect. Thank you, Madam President.